it was a wonderful and fruitful day. The Open Field Day is an opportunity to share information with locals on issues related to the spread of TB, as well as its control and treatment method, in a bid to mitigate an increase of the disease. For Grts News, I am Deiko Madem.
Well, you can follow that story and other Grts programs live on www.grts.gm. There you can also monitor Grts Radio live. Time now to take our first break. We'll be right back.
GRTS Digital FM on 98.6 and 102.6, the best FM station in town, where you can capture hundreds and thousands of potential customers with a wider coverage around the country. Advertise today and get your targeted customers. For more information, call 9933263, 9957255, or 4497331 and 9906445. GRTS Digital FM.
Extreme Recharge.
AfriCell has done it again with the extremely highest bonus on the lowest recharge.
That's right. That's the new AfriCell e-voucher credit recharge.
Now recharge between $5 and $40 and get a 25% bonus. Not only can you recharge as low as $5, yes, you heard me. Recharge as low as $5 and you will get a 25% bonus.
Extremely the highest bonus in the Gambia.
Extremely affordable.
Extremely low.
That's the AfriCell Extreme Recharge.
For more info, call 111.
Welcome back to GRTS News. In the past, Africa wasn't thought as hotbed of Islamic terror. But in Nigeria, an extremist group is widely becoming known for increasing ruthless attacks. As CNN's Christian Purefour tells us, little is known about the world, about the group beyond its growing death toll.
Islamic militant group Boko Haram. It's not known when it was filmed, but despite the poor quality of the video, this is one of the world's most deadly terrorist groups. And yet perhaps most frightening is that very little is known about them.
There is so much fear and apprehension, and there is no doubt about it. The insurgency is creating a feeling of failure on the side of the state and the government to protect its own citizens.
In August, Boko Haram carried out one of the deadliest attacks against the UN in its history after a suicide bomb killed 24 people in an attack on the UN headquarters in Nigeria's capital. And this weekend, Boko Haram attacked a remote northern town with guns and explosives, killing over 100 people. Shehu is one of the few people to have stood in the same room for direct peace talks with Boko Haram. Talks currently at an impasse as the violence continues.
And their aim is principally to establish an Islamic state with Sharia law as a guiding principle.
What are these young men blowing themselves up for?
The organization appeals to many people in their hundreds of thousands because of strong opposition to the corruption and bad governance and irresponsibility of leaders.
A dramatic escape.
Well, emergency teams in eastern Turkey have spent many frantic hours digging through rubble. Authorities say dozens remain trapped after Wednesday's earthquake. So far, the death toll stands at 19. CNN reports.
A dramatic escape seconds before an entire building collapses. The earth just won't stop shaking in eastern Turkey. Security camera footage shows Wednesday night's 5.6 magnitude earthquake knocking out electricity in the eastern city of Van and sending 3 men racing into the street just seconds before the Bayram Hotel came suddenly tumbling down.
This is all that's left of what was a 5-story building, a pancaked pile of rubble.
It's now the scene of a dramatic rescue operation that's working round the clock. Fortunately, rescue workers and heavy equipment were close by to help. They flooded the area after a much more powerful 7.2 magnitude earthquake slammed the Van region barely 3 weeks ago, killing more than 500 people. On Wednesday, some of these rescue workers became victims of the latest quake. Emergency workers pulled this Japanese volunteer from the rubble.
And I tried to open my eyes, but I could not because of lots of dust getting into my eyes. When I finally managed to open my left eye slowly, there was a ray of light I could see in what I thought was complete darkness. That light gave me relief and gave me hope to live. That was the light from the computer I was using.
Miyuki Konai escaped. One of her fellow Japanese volunteers died from his injuries. Amid stories of tragedy and hope, there's also anger. Residents confronted Turkish officials on Thursday, demanding resignations. Riot police charged the crowd just yards away from collapsed buildings. In the days ahead, there will be more questions about government enforcement of building codes and pressure to resettle hundreds of thousands of people made homeless. But for now, Turkey's earthquake survivors are just looking for a warm place to sleep. Most of them clearly too scared to step into their own homes. Ivan Watson, CNN, Van, Turkey.
Time now to take our second break. We'll be right back. Welcome back. It is the Singapore Gold Cup on Sunday, and the youngest son of an Australian horse racing dynasty is expected to have 2 runners in the race. Michael Friedman moved to Singapore to set up his own stable in 2008, and he has been telling CNN's Winning Post about his attempt to crack the rather insular world of Singapore racing.
So Hiron, you lead up on him, go 2 laps, second lap 1,000 evens to the 400, and then just let him stride up 400 on the bit. And Danny can just work up outside you. Most days I'm up at just before 5 and get to the stables at just before 5:30, and then the track opens at 6 o'clock. There's 27 trainers here at the moment, with a total of about, I think at last count, around 1,100 horses. Fairly primitive, I know, but it's the best way of keeping track. I was very entrenched in show jumping as a young boy, and I used to ride track work for my father before I went to school, so it was always in the blood, I guess. It probably wasn't until just after I left school that I made the decision that, you know, what I really wanted to do was be involved in the racehorses. By that stage, my brothers had already started training, and once I sort of left school and made the decision that that's what I wanted to do, I started at a very junior level, mucking out stables and doing what everyone else does. Just work on your own on him. Go 2 laps, second lap, just 1,000 evens, just up an easy 400, right? So 25, 26, the last 400. So yeah, look, for sure it was very daunting because there was no guarantees that we would make a success of it here, or so there was some apprehension there to start with, for sure. But I think now that we've been here for a good period of time, everyone's very settled, and we've got some good owners to support us both here and back in Australia. We're a little more relaxed about things now. There's a lot of other expat trainers here, and we all get along pretty well, and we're all in the same boat. track 7.